Hola everyone, welcome to my new cocina. I'm so excited to share my kitchen with you, but what we're ready to celebrate is Muy Bueno Fiestas. It's out, it's official. This has been a labor of love. It's been 3 years in the making, and now I'm excited to celebrate with all of you who pre-ordered. Thank you so much. And how we're gonna celebrate is by making these two cover recipes. We have Jalapeño Mandarin Margaritas and Guacamole with Pomegranate. So you can't have a fiesta without cocktails and an appetizer. So let's get shaking and make a margarita. So we're gonna start by charring our lime. But first what we wanna do is we want to rim our glasses with the lime, and we're going to rim it with some tajin. If you've never heard of tajin, it's a chili lime seasoning powder, and it's so delicious, and it really elevates a cocktail. So I'm gonna rim our glasses with some tajin, and this is just more exciting and more fun than just traditional, coarse salt. So it gives you a little added heat. So we're gonna rim our glasses, because you gotta have a friend, right? You can't have a margarita alone. So we have our rimmed glasses, and we're gonna fill them with ice. And one for your friend. And what's nice about this recipe is you can definitely just pre-juice all of your citrus and have it in a pitcher if you're gonna have a big party over. But what I love about these margaritas is that they're fresh. If you know me, you know I can't stand fake margarita mix. So this is so delicious, and it's gonna be so worth all the steps. So you want fresh limes, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna char them. So I'm gonna put them on the comal on a little bit of heat. Hear that sizzle, and we wanna make sure to char them so that you get them nice and blackened, because it's gonna give that extra smoky flavor. So as those are charring, I have some jalapeño here, and the jalapeño we've seeded. So we're just gonna use half of a jalapeño, and we're gonna muddle the limes with the jalapeño. And then here we have some sliced jalapeños that we're just using as a garnish, and you can add those later. And like I said, it's gonna add a little bit of heat, but it's not gonna be crazy spicy. So don't be scared of that step. So we have our cocktail shaker. I'm gonna check on our limes, see how those are doing. And the longer, obviously, that you char the limes, the more flavor you're gonna have. But you want a nice, deep, golden, kind of charred topping on your limes. And if you want to be extra fancy, you can also do some lime slices and char those so that you can garnish your margarita as well. So we're gonna go ahead and start using this limes. And so we're just gonna add the whole limes in the cocktail shaker, and we're gonna muddle that with half a jalapeño that's been seeded. So we're gonna muddle that, and muddling is just basically pressing it. You use, like, if you don't have like a little muddler, you can use a rolling pin or a spoon, or just something that's gonna give you that added, it's gonna give you some muscles as you're doing this. So you're gonna muddle this. And traditionally in some margaritas, you can add a little bit of honey or some agave nectar for sweetening the margarita, but we're gonna add orange liqueur, and with that, it'll already be sweet enough. And since we're using mandarin oranges, you don't need any added sugar. It's just really a natural flavor. It already smells so good. Just the limes and the spice of the jalapeño. It's gonna be so yummy. So now we got 2 mandarin oranges, and this recipe is gonna it's perfect for 2 margaritas. So we're gonna do juice of 2 mandarin oranges and juice of 2 limes. So we're gonna add those to the cocktail shaker. And what's a good tip when you're making margaritas, or when you're using lime juice in general, is just roll out your citrus, and you're gonna really extract a lot more juice out of it. Because have you ever gotten lime and they're like rock hard? But if you work it and you roll it a bit, you're gonna get some more of that juice out because you need that juice for your margarita. Yum! And this is a great cocktail for spring or summer, and like I said, you can make it into a big batch and just have a big batch of cocktails. And it's so yummy. And this cookbook is all about fiestas. It's all about how to entertain, how to host a party. And like I said, there'll be margaritas, there'll be other cocktails, there'll be appetizers, there'll be entrees, and it's all just recipes that I love. And the cookbook is divided by chapters by holiday. So say you want to celebrate for Cinco de Mayo or for 4th of July or Mexican Independence Day. There's so many recipes that you can make to celebrate and elevate your party. So now 2 ounces of orange liqueur, so that's our sweetener. And then we're gonna add 4 ounces of tequila. And I'm using tequila blanco. If you want to use a reposado or you want to use an añejo to get really fancy, you can do that as well. And you have your tequila. Just use a good tequila because a good tequila really makes a difference in your margarita making. And then we're gonna add some ice so we can shake this up. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And ready? Shake, 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 shake. So you wanna make sure to get your cocktail shaker to get nice and frosty. That'll be like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Now we're ready to pour. You got some beautiful Jalapeño Mandarin margaritas. You could garnish with a little bit of Jalapeño. If you want to add some extra lime slices or mandarin slices, just like on the cover. And now we're gonna make guacamole with pomegranate. It's a delicious appetizer that you can serve with your margaritas, and it's gonna really get this party started because you can't have a fiesta without a margarita and a good appetizer. So let's make that next. Now it's time to make some guacamole. Have you ever had guacamole with pomegranate seeds? I'm telling you, it's gonna elevate your guacamole to something spectacular. So what we're gonna start with is a molcajete. But if you don't have a molcajete, you could simply use a bowl and a bean masher, or what do you call it? A potato masher. So you can mash your avocados that way. But we're gonna make it fun and do it festive with a molcajete. And the way we start is we're using green onion. You can also use white onion or yellow onion, but I like the flavor of green onion in guacamole just because it's not so strong. So we're gonna add in some green onion, and the exact measurements are in the cookbook, but you can really what makes guacamole special is you can really do it to your liking. Like, I love spicy guacamole. If you don't like too much spice, you don't have to add too many chiles, or you can just completely omit them. I'm using jalapeños, and another way to omit some of that spice is to remove the seeds of the jalapeños, but I like things spicy, so I add extra jalapeños and I keep the seeds in. So then we're also gonna use some salt, and we're gonna make this into a paste. So we're going to mash. It's kind of like tableside guacamole. You're just making it yourself and you're bringing the party to your home. So you have your mortar and pestle. If you have a mortar and pestle, that's basically what this is. And so you're gonna mash that jalapeño with the onion. You're making this into a paste, so it's really combining those flavors together. And you can already smell how aromatic this is. So that way you don't have chunks. You know, like when you get a guacamole and you have like a chunk of a jalapeno, this is like gonna give it nice and even texture. So here you have your jalapeno mixture with your onion. And be careful if you're sensitive to heat. You know, I have been cooking with chiles for a long time, so it doesn't bother me. But be careful, don't rub your eyes if you're working with chiles. So we have 2 avocados. In the cookbook, we use 4 avocados, but these are pretty big avocados. So we're going to cut our avocados in half. And let's see what we got here. It's always the surprise, never knowing which avocados are gonna look like. Beautiful, beautiful, perfect avocado. Nice and creamy. And I always love avocados from Mexico. It just really gives you that unique flavor of what makes avocado so special. Makes guacamole so special. So you want to be sure that you cut the avocado in your hand, and then that way when you mash it with the masher, it's not gonna fly everywhere. So that's gonna be safer. Now you're just gonna mash. And these molcajetes are really readily available if you want to buy one and incorporate it into your kitchen. They're just fun to have. And if you are intimidated by mashing it and using it like this, you can always just use it as a pretty party vessel. You know, make your guacamole in a bowl and then serve it in your molcajete. It just looks so much more festive, so much more appetizing. And I'm telling you, your friends are gonna flip out about it. So you got your mashed avocado. You might want to taste it at this point just to see if you have enough lime juice, if you want it a little tangier. You gotta add some salt, because salt is gonna really bring out that flavor of the avocado. The avocado is pretty plain. It's like once you add in that salt, it's really gonna bring in that flavor. So now you wanna make sure you tested it for your salt, for your lime, and now we gotta add garnishes. So we're adding some cilantro. And if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to add it, but it really elevates this guacamole. And the most beautiful part of this guacamole that makes it extra special is pomegranate seeds. These pomegranates really add that festive touch to the guacamole. It's like a bursting pop of sweetness with that creamy guacamole. It just really makes this guacamole out of this world. Now that's a party in your mouth right there. We gotta have this with a Margarita. I think you're gonna really enjoy this guacamole with pomegranate and this Jalapeño Mandarin Margarita. Both the recipes can be found in Muy Bueno Fiestas. Thank you again for all of your support. Salud.